Hi guys, I'm going to continue talking about Brazilian music and how I play it. This is not necessarily the most accurate, but at least it'll give you a good idea, a good starting point. And as I say, I'm very glad that you're watching me doing it, but again, also the most authentic thing you can do would be to watch some Brazilian guitarists. But it might be interesting to see my take on it. So anyway, first thing I'm going to talk about is the music Jobim. You've got to remember that Bossa Nova really is Tom Jobim and Antonio Carlos Jobim. It's his, and anything you hear now, a new bossa tune, they really all originate from the style that Jobim came out with. And what a fantastic composer, and especially from a guitarist's point of view, because the amazing chords he uses, a fantastic chord structure that he uses, it's a joy to play. And there's lots of these tunes now, and you can get a transcription for them. Yeah, I believe you can even get tab for them. As I say, when I was younger, and you could hardly even get a recording of anybody playing these tunes, never mind get the music for them. So as I say, it's great now that everything's available for it. But again, this is my take on it. But what I want to try and go over to is the most common chords that are used in this style of music, and how our Brazilian friends play them, or at least the ones that I've seen. And the first, I'll be using Desifinado, right? But this is not a how to play Desifinado. It's showing you the chords that's used in Desifinado. Again, you can use them in other things. And the first thing you have to say about Brazilian style music, or Brazilian guitar music, is, again, all these guitarists will tell you this, but it's most of the time, a lot of the music is based in F. Whereas, like, so if you're playing an electric guitar, you know, in rock bands and everything like that, you're just learning. You normally gravitate to the key of E, you know. We all do it, I did it, do 12 bars, so E is usually where we go to. If you're in acoustic guitar, at least for me, acoustic guitar, the key I always go to is an A. An acoustic guitar sings in key of A. A lot of the top guitars, they're actually voiced to 440 cycles, so A really sings. So if I can pick what key I'm going to be playing something in acoustic guitar, I usually go to A. But our Brazilian friends, these lads always gravitate, well not always, but usually gravitate to the key of F. It's just so natural for them, and they make it look so easy. It's not all that hard, but it's one of these things you have to keep doing to get into the swing of it. So a common thing is you'll see them doing. It's just so natural playing an F for them. So as I say, Desifinado is written in F. So many tunes. They don't have to be in those keys, but it's a common key that, as I say, they'll gravitate towards. There's a Brazilian guitarist, I think he has passed away now, Jean Gilberto, and I love, luckily there are quite a lot of videos of Jean Gilberto playing. And as I said before, although Jobim wrote these tunes, Jean Gilberto made a lot of them popular, as I say, with his singing and guitar, just guitar and voice. It's really nice. And as I say, obviously his wife, Astrid Gilberto, she did a lot with Stan Getz and making them more popular. But coming back to what my original point was, as Jean Gilberto got older, he changed the key. Rather than singing them in F, he'd sing them in D flat. And you just see him changing these keys in really complicated chord patterns. And because he's doing it all the time, so easy. And I want to run through some of these chord patterns, and again some of these chords that are used. So I'll play wee bits of Desifinado and I'll show you what the chords are. So again, it usually starts in a F major 7. That's just a straight F major 7th. And then just a straight C 7th chord with an added D and a G. And you can see all I'm doing is bar in 3rd position. So move easily between the two of them. Then start the tune, which is an F major 7th chord. So it's a right, I'll take it from there, okay? So I started in a part bar at an F major 7th chord. Okay, and the melody line, as I keep saying before, is never far away. That's the chords we're working on today. Then this chord, which is G7th, with that C sharp. Now that's a flat 5. Before we were talking about minor 7th flat 5s. Well, this is a major flat 5. There's a fifth note, which is D. We're playing a G chord, remember? So the fifth note is D. So down a half step, a semitone, gives us a D flat. We're saying D flat instead of C sharp because we're playing in a flattened key, we're playing in the key of F. So then you've got your G7th flat 5, big name, but as you can see I'm only holding down 3 notes. So there's the F from the G7, there's a straight G7th chord, guys. And I'm just adding flat 5 note, the D flat. Okay, then for there I went to G minor 7th. Now, in this kind of music, and in a lot of jazz and different things as well, it's fine just playing a part bar or a full bar to play a minor 7th chord. There's a full G minor chord, okay? Right, take off the pinky, G minor 7th. But remember, this is fingerstyle. The real bossa nova is fingerstyle. So I don't need to play this D here. So all I'm playing here is just barring straight across. And the 6th string, the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd. And that's giving me minor 7th, G minor 7th, and of course we could move that. G, A, B flat. So I'll use that quite a lot for minor 7ths. With added bonus, it gives my pinky free to dance all over the place, okay? Let's move on. G minor. A straight C7th chord. So you know that by now, that's a 7 shape. A minor. Okay, I'm going for this sound. I love the sound of 4ths. But I could play it in E minor and add the C and the G here. I could play it like that, but just like this. And then what I'm doing, I'm playing the G flat diminished. G minor. B flat. Remember, we're back to this minor 7 shape I was telling you before, and it's giving me my pinky free. D minor 7th. G13th. Now let's talk about this 13th. A lot of the time in Brazilian music, again, a lot of the time, but not all the time, right? Because I keep saying there really isn't any rules in music, at least I've found out. Even you play the key of F and it's got a B flat in it, sometimes you'll get asked to play a B natural, believe me. So I'm always very wary of saying there's definitely no rules. Anyhow, so I think to bear in mind, and you'll hear it when you listen to a lot of Brazilian music, instead of playing a dominant 7th chord, like say for example here, G7th, they'll play the 13th instead, just to give it a different sound. So again, let's take it from G. We'll play I'm holding down a straight G chord, okay, take off your 3rd and 4th fingers, you don't need them. So again, because we're playing fingerstyle, so reduce the chords just to that, okay. So, and all I'm doing is putting this on my pinky on the 6th fret, on the 5th fret, and that's giving you the 13th shape. Again, try substituting dominant 7th chords for 13th chords, and again, if that's G13th, A flat, A, B flat, 13th, and it gives it that more authentic sound. So, carry on. 13th. Now what Jobim does in this tune, as you know the tune's called Slightly Out of Tune, Desifinado. What he does here, he now brings the key up from the key of F up a tone. Sorry, it changes from the key of F up to A. A. B flat diminished, B minor 7th. Okay, but the important thing what I'm going to show you here is this 9th. We've talked about it before, going from a 9th chord to a flat 9th. I'll do that phrase again. A, B flat diminished, B minor 7th, E 9th, flat 9th. Okay, let's go with this flat 9th to a flat 9th because it's really important. As well as using it in Brazilian music and Latin music, you can use it in jazz, you can use it in a lot of things. So I'll do it in a C so you can follow exactly what I'm doing, okay? So let's take the shape for a C 7th chord, okay? So on the A string, I'm playing the 3rd fret C, on the D string, 2nd fret E, and on the G string, 3rd fret B flat, okay? So there's your C 7th, okay? So, and then I'm adding the 9th note on, which is the D. Really be looking at everything's on the 3rd fret except for the first finger, for the 2nd finger. And where your 2nd finger is the name of the chord, right? So I'm on a C, okay? So there's a C 7th 9th. Okay? And then, but what I'm going to do, there's a 9th note, the D there. I'm going to bar in the 2nd fret. It's not even a bar, I'm just going to pivot my finger round. And it's, you don't really need a lot of tension on it, guys. It's not as hard as I'm making it look. So going to go from the D to the D flat, okay, D, back to F. It really is a good chord to use and you'll hear it all the time. And again, instead of somebody playing a dominant 7th chord, you could play the 9th to the flat 9th and then back to the original key. So we'll take it from this section where he changes from F to A. B flat, A major 7th, B flat diminished, B minor 7th, E 9th, flat 9th, A, diminished. Now instead of playing that flat 9th, I could play it again, I'm just playing an E 7th. So there's, okay, I'll show you how to do it. There's the E 7th. Okay, I'll reduce it to that. And you know I like playing 4ths. So an A there, okay? And then Jobim goes up to C. Now the chord I'm playing is the chord we talked about last week. So this is C 7th 9. So we've got C, straight C chord, and I'm barring 2nd position, and I'm adding on the D and the G. Remember we talked about vamping on this chord. And I'm using this to base the melody. Up a half step to the diminished. D minor 7th again. 13th chord, right? So I'll do that again. It's quite tricky playing that slow. Diminished. D minor 7th. 13th, G13. G minor. Then play an A diminished. Okay, and then this chord, that's a good run down. Okay, so you're playing G13th. Okay, then I'm sliding down like an F sharp, and I'm barring, keeping that position there and barring the 5th fret and the B string and the E string. Back to the beginning again. No, I'll play an octave lower. So that's a major flat 5, G minor, A minor 11, we've talked that before, which is just an A minor with an added D. There's my A minor triad, I'm playing it here. Add a D. Now I'm going to come down chromatically for a few notes, and I like to play them as octaves. D, G minor, B flat minor, D minor again, to the G13th. we're going to play a G7 with an added A. Then I'm going to play an E flat again. Right, and this next chord's a doozy, right? This is a Jobim chord. So I'm playing against part of a G7 chord. Right, and I'm holding an F with my pinky and the 6th fret and the B string. That stays there, another 2 go down a fret. So I'll do that bit again. E flat. The chord I'm ending up here is based in an F major 7th. So straight F, 1st fret in the E string, pinky's playing a C in the A string, 2nd finger in the D string I'm playing an E, on the G string 2nd fret I'm playing an A, then the B in the E string open. It's a good Jobim chord to end up with. So now let's talk about some of these chords again. Now to be honest with you, that major flat 5 is very rarely used. That's why Desifinado slightly out of tune, you're getting that out of tune note there. Again, I've never really heard that in another tune. I'm sure there are other tunes but I'm not familiar. And remember we played this minor shape here, minor 7th shape. I use this in a lot of tunes because again it leaves the rest of my fingers free and yet I'm playing a lovely minor 7 shape here. 13th chord's important guys, as I say always bear in mind, instead of playing it straight dominant 7th chord, play the 13th. Gives it that nice, just gives it a completely different flavour. And the other mega important, again we'll do it in C, is the 7th, 9th to the flat 9th. So there's the 7th, 9th. Okay, then just pivot back and bar, so there's the D to the D flat. The other shape you saw me using there is one you're more than familiar with, is other minor 7 shape. Say for example I'm playing B minor. If I take my pinky off, that gives me the B minor 7th. Okay, that's all I was doing there. Like you saw me play this G minor. And how it's cool because again it leaves your pinky free. That's all the chords I was using. The only one you weren't familiar with again is that major flat 5. It's really Desifinado's only tune I know for it. The minor 7th, the 7th, the flat 9th, 9th, flat 9th, the 13th, the minor 7th. That's it really. You saw me playing a D, we've talked about this before. It's a chord that I use quite a lot if I'm only wanting to play a part bar for a major chord, like so there's D, there's E, there's B flat, A. Just the same shape that moves up and down. And that really helps you. But as I say, these chords will give you a wee bit more authentic bossa nova sound, even if you just start working on the basics of them. Like so that first run I did at the very beginning. So I played an F major 7th, just a straight F major 7th chord. Okay. Then as I say, usually if there's a diminished chord in a tune, always try first just take it up a semitone. Quite often it's that. Up a semitone for the diminished. Okay, then G minor. Then the C7th, C 9th, flat 9th. Hope that was of some use to you. It'd be too long taking you through actually playing the melody line in Desifinado, but you saw the chords that I was using there. If you want to have a go at it yourself, got to remember that's my arrangement, so it might not be absolutely accurate, but that's the way I like playing it after listening to it for many, many years. And as I always say, guys, the melody line is never far away from the chords if you're prepared to do a wee bit of work. And so that was it. So I hope that was of some use for you guys. Hope you have a nice Christmas, and I'll try and get another one out before the new year. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.